Now we are going to look at pointers and functions. How do we pass pointers to functions? How do you return pointers? Why do we want to pass pointers to functions? Let's look at, let's say I have two variables, int x equal to 10, y is equal to 20. I want to write a function going to swap these two numbers. So that is after the function. So let's say I'm going to call the function swap these numbers x and y, and I want to, once I return from that function, I want y is equal to, so what is it I want? Y is equal to 10 and x equal to 3. That is, the numbers x and y has changed. The values in x and y has changed. This is what I want. Now I want to write a function for that. Now what happens if I write a function like this? So let me give a different variable in u, so that we don't get confused about x and y. And I'm going to write, so int temp is equal to u, then I put u is equal to v, right? This is how I can swap. So I swap two integers. Now what would happen here? So let me just print here printf slash n value of x y, x is equal to v, y. I'm going to have that also have a printf. So do you expect the values to be swapped after the function gets called? Let's see that, right? See, the value of x and y has not changed after I called the swap function. Why didn't it change? Because when I called x, right, when I called swap xy, this value of x assigned to the value of assigned to the variable u here, the value of y is assigned to the value assigned to the variable v. Okay, therefore u became equal to 10 and v became equal to 20. And what did happen inside? Inside what happened is that, let's just note down what happened. U became 10 and v became 20, right? And here temp became 10 and u became 20, and finally v became 10, right? So the values in u and v have changed, but the value in x and y has not changed. Why? For the simple reason that what has just now happened is that the value of x has been assigned to the variable u, the value in y has been assigned to the variable v, and they got swapped. Like u and v got swapped, but that does not mean that the values in x and y got swapped, right? Now something how can I implement such a thing using in C, right? I want to write a function which can swap these two values in C. So that's where pointers are going to help. Now what is it we need to use here? The main idea is that if I know the address of x and if I know the address of y, what can I do? I can then use those two addresses to basically swap those the values in those two addresses. That's the idea we are going to implement right now. Now how do I pass the addresses? What is the address of x? The address of x is ampersand. What is the address of y? The address of y is ampersand y. Now I just passed the values x and y. It got passed here, and it's going to be in star u and in star v. here. And okay, so that means we have now, what is it I have done? I have passed the addresses x, address of x and address of y, and this address of x is now stored in the integer star, that is a pointer to an integer variable u. So now u becomes equal to ampersand x and v becomes equal to ampersand, right? That's what has happened now. Now what can I do? Note that I didn't pass the value x and y, but I passed the addresses of x and y. Okay, and now I'm going to use that. What is star u going to be? Okay, what is star u? Star u is now 10. Why? Because u is pointing to the address of x. Star u becomes 10 because x, the value of x is 10. Similarly, star v is 20, right? Because y is 20 and v points to y. Okay, so I'm going to put temp is equal to star u. Okay, the temporary variable now gets the value at u, at the position pointed by u, and therefore temp gets become 10. And next thing I do is I'm going to put star u here. What is star u? The location where x is. So u is basically pointing to x, star u is that place, right? And I'm going to put star u is equal to star v. So that is the value at x has been changed to the value star v. Okay, and star v is value is basically y. So that means u becomes 20. That's the idea being used here. And finally, star v is equal to temp. And so I can swap, and let's compile and see what is happening. Did it right? The values got swapped. X becomes 20 and y becomes 10. The values of x and y has swapped. So one more time, what has happened here is that I have passed the pointers to x and y, and I use, so now I have pointers. Basically I have some addresses. I know the address of x and y. Now once I know the address of x and y, I can basically use that address to get the value at x, right? I can also use that information to replace the value at x. That's what I did. I took the value at u, I stored it in temp, right? I took the value in x and I stored it in temp. Then the value at x has been replaced by the value of y. Okay, and similarly, star v also has been changed to 10. What I did. Good. Now finally, this is how you can pass pointers as parameters to functions. This is exactly like you pass any other normal data type. If you wanted to pass an integer u, you would have written int u, but you wanted to pass an integer pointer, so you have written int star u. That's uh, just like any other data. Now I want to return a point. This is also exactly saying I want to, let's say, return int star, and I want to return int star. So let me just say that in swap itself, I want to return star, and I want to return, what is it I want to return? I can return v, right? So what is it? V is a pointer, integer pointer, and basically returning. And if you want, we can just print the value can be taken here. Let me just declare a star IP, and I am going to write equal to. So I got the pointer. I can finally print that star IP also. Turn. Now, so V is returned from a swap, but I'm printing basically star V, right? So it is what is the value? What should it point to? Just think what is V, what was V earlier? V was pointing to Y. So we have to now see the value of Y being printed. So value of Y was 10 and return. The value returned by the swap function is an integer address, an integer pointer, and I am printing the value at that location. Thank you.